You picked them, wasn't that fun?
The government needs to guarantee the right to choose your own business. We take it for granted in many countries, but in many countries you're assigned your job. You're assigned the business you work in, or the government picks the industries that it wants to pursue. Fourth and finally, the right to be free from unfair competition. The right to be free from not just government, but from other businesses that have unfair business practices. So what do you think, entrepreneurs? Are these good ideas for you? Yes?
Yes.
Do you want these things?
Yes.
Do you want these freedoms? Do you want these rights?
Yes.
Okay, with them come obligations. Many business people forget this. They talk when they talk with their government friends. They say, this is what we need. These are the rights that we insist on. But as entrepreneurs, as business people, you have tremendous responsibility to your society. Let's go to the next slide, please. Next slide, please. Basic obligations for entrepreneurs. If you want the government to help you, you need to follow the rules. You need to fulfill your obligations as entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs shall obey all laws and rules. It sounds very basic, but business people often forget this. Don't run through the red lights, even if you're impatient. Entrepreneurs shall pay their taxes. How many entrepreneurs like to pay taxes? Raise your hand if you want to pay your taxes.
No.
Nobody wants to pay taxes, but you have an obligation to pay taxes. If you don't pay your taxes, the government can't pay its salaries, they can't build the roads, they can't build the airports, they can't do the things that you want them to do. They can't do the things that you want them to do. Pay your taxes. Make honest financial reports. Everybody forgets this one from time to time. We forget this in North America. It causes no end of problems. Be honest in your financial reporting. Compete fairly. Compete fairly. We have 2 silk companies today, wonderful products. Wouldn't it be a great idea if all the silk companies had a meeting and agreed on a really, really high price for women's silk? Would that be a good thing? All the silk companies agreeing on a really, really high price. That's wrong. That's unethical. That's not competing fairly. Finally, entrepreneurs have a duty to make safe products in a safe environment. Okay? So entrepreneurs have basic rights that they should demand from the government. They have basic obligations that they have to fulfill. Are you ready to do these things? It's not just about making a profit and pleasing your investors. Next slide, please. Here, I'm just using some examples from our law program at Handong. We teach U.S. law, so these are U.S. law examples, but most countries have the same rules. This is from our tax law. A tax is hereby imposed for each taxable year on the taxable income of every corporation. Next slide, please. Okay, what's going on here? Well, we have 2 reports. We have a report for the owners, and we have a report for the government. Are they the same report?
No.
What's different?
Expenses.
What's different?
Both.
Net income.
The net income's different. The investors are told they have how much net income? $500,000. And what's the government told? 70,000. Is that income or a loss? It's a loss. Why would we tell the government we don't have any income? Why?
Don't need to pay tax.
So we don't pay taxes, right? Why would we tell the owners we have lots and lots of income? So they're happy, right? So the investors are happy. Now, I didn't tell you which one of these statements was true. I didn't tell you whether the company's making money or losing money. But it doesn't matter which one is true because they both can't be true. They both can't be true. One of these is false. Either we're lying to the investors or we are lying to the government. Entrepreneurs don't have 2 sets of books or 3 sets of books. It won't help you in the long run. You may succeed for a couple of years, but someday you will get caught and it will be very, very embarrassing. Would you buy food from a company that lies in its financial statements? That's going to ruin your image. There are few things worse for a corporation's image than being caught lying on your financial statements. Don't do it. Make it a habit now. 1 set of books tell the truth. Next slide, please.
Next slide, please.
Next slide, please.
Next slide, please.
Sorry.
Okay, here's another set of rules. You know what the word warranty means? You know what the word warranty means? It's a kind of promise that something is true. Now, many of you have organic products, organic coffee. The restaurant serves organic food. You tell your customers, we are selling organic vegetables. That has to be true. It has to be true. If you tell your customer that your vegetables are organic, that has to be true. Otherwise, you're responsible to them for any injury or any damages. If you make a statement about your product, it has to be true. It has to be true, or you'll be responsible to your customers. Next slide, please. Okay, what's the problem here? What's the promise that we're making to the customer? Our apples what? Our apples have no worms. Is this true or false? It's false. There's a big worm sticking his head out. Now, under most commercial laws, your customer can sue you for any injuries because you fooled the customer about the nature of your product. Next slide, please. Honest financial reporting. This is from the U.S. securities regulations. It's unlawful to make an untrue statement when you're selling or buying stock. You could go to prison for doing this in many countries. You're looking for investors to buy your stock. You want to tell them a good story, but you have to tell the truth. Please buy our stock. We have 100 new orders from customers in the EU. If you're going to tell your investors that, it has to be true. Otherwise, you'll be in serious trouble. Next slide, please. What you need to work for as entrepreneurs and as government officials is a partnership where each side does what it's supposed to do. The government develops good rules, and the business community, and this is so important for you in the business community, the business community lives up to its obligations. You're responsible for working with your government to develop sensible rules for business. But you're more responsible to yourselves and to the country for developing a culture in which the rules are followed. That you not only demand your rights as business people, but you fulfill your obligations. And that means honesty in everything you do. I was very, very excited by the presentations today. I think there's tremendous potential. A big part of the puzzle, a big part of the challenge is working business and government to develop good, sensible rules and a culture of following the rules. I wish you every success, and I'm delighted to have this opportunity to speak with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.